What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are testing out a bunch of new stuff from Shop Miss A. Now, I've done videos like this before where I've tested out just $1 stuff, but this time I wanted to branch out and try some of their higher end stuff, like their higher price stuff on there. Like they have some stuff that's $2.50, $3.50, $7.50. I think the most expensive stuff on there is like $10 or $12, and that's bundles. Like you're getting a pallet with several different single pans in there. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go through what I've got first, just to kind of make the video go a little bit smoother, and we'll go over prices and stuff like that. So I got some more of these Amuse single eyeshadows. These are called the Smoky Eyes single eyeshadows. These are $1, and I did try a couple of these in my first video, like in the first round, but there were so many more shades that I wanted to check out, but they were sold out for months. That's one thing that really irritates me with Shop Miss A. They're very, very slow with restocking. It's super annoying. I don't know why it takes so long. I got the shade Paprika, which is a really pretty like ginger orange matte brown, and I love that these are matte as well. Like all these are matte. I don't think they have any shimmers in this line, and they don't feel the smoothest. Like they do feel a little bit drier, but they don't really look cheap on the eyes or anything. So there's Paprika. A lot of times drier eyeshadows do work better on the eyes instead of something that's super pigmented, and plus these aren't scary to work with. Like it's kind of hard to go overboard with them. Then I got the shade Nude, and I think this is a dupe for either Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee or Peaches and Cream or something like that. It looks just like that, but this is another matte shade, but this is just a light kind of warm tan. I will say this one's a little bit smoother. So there is Nude. And then the last shade I got is in the shade Teddy, and this is the one that reminds me of Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee. So as you can see, they're a pretty similar tone. So this one's a little bit more neutral, whereas the other two are a little bit more warm. I don't think I'll be using those today just because they're a bit more warm, and the eyeshadows that I have in mind to use today, which I haven't seen anyone talk about, so that's why I want to use them, they're a bit more cool tone and taupey. So the next couple of things I got are from AOA Studio. AOA Studio is Shop Miss A's in-house brand, and they have a ton of amazing stuff. So the first thing I got is this Lumi Radiant Blush in the shade Rose Dawn. So I believe this one's like $3.50. This is a little bit too like bubblegum pink for me, like to be used as a blush, but it does have a really pretty sheen to it. Okay, actually I was wrong. This is $1, not $3.50. $1. Pretty good deal. I would like to try other shades in this though, because the formula actually is pretty good. Then the next thing I got is our Halo highlighter in the shade Blissful. But there's what that one looks like. It's kind of like an icier pink. I don't know, it's a little bit too icy for my skin tone, but the formula is very, very smooth. I will be using that one today. And then I got their AOA Studio Perfect BB Cream. I got the shade Light. So there's what that one looks like. I think this is their first like foundation type product, so I'm really excited to try that. And I have used all this before, but I just kind of slapped this on one day, so I haven't really tested it thoroughly. And then I got a couple of their sponges. So these are brand new. So I got the AOA Studio Wonder Bake Sponge. This is $1, so it's just like a flat wedge kind of sponge. It kind of reminds me of like the old school triangle sponges, like the triangle wedges, but it's just more of like a rhombus. Is that what the parallelogram? It's a parallelogram. I can't remember. I can't believe I remember that. And then I got their AOA Studio Wonder Blender, which is just a regular foundation sponge. So there's what that one looks like. It's got a very, very deep angle to it. It's flat on the top, and it's rounded everywhere else, so it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a different take on the Beauty Blender. And then I got their AOA Studio Diamond Lip Gloss. This is new. This is in the shade Glitz. So there's what that one looks like. I feel like all the rave right now is these glittery, holographic, like sparkly kind of lip glosses. So that's what that one is. This one's $1. I got their AOA Studio Go Brow Mascara in the shade Taupe. So this is just a fibery kind of brow mascara. So there's what that one looks like. It has a really tiny little spoolie on it, but I will say it's very miniature. Like it's very, very small, but I really do like the shape of the wand, even though there's not a lot in this. I mean, for $1, who cares? And then I wanted to try a few things from their A2O Lab line, which is a little bit more expensive. Those are the things that are like $2.50, $3.50, etc. I've been wanting to try these for the longest time. These are their single eyeshadows. These are $2.50, so I did get a couple of shades. I got shades M7, so this is just a dark matte taupey brown, and then I got the shade L13, which is just a shimmery grayish taupe. And then I got one of the A2O Lab single blushes. So this is in the shade Solar, and this is $3.50. Now I will say their swatches on their website suck so bad. The lighting's off, and everything I've bought looks completely different than what they look like in the swatches on the pictures. So yeah, you can't really go by that, but just a little heads up. And I've been wanting to try their A2O Lab single highlighter. So these are $3.50 as well. So I got the shade Galaxy, which I got this one because it reminded me of the Fenty Beauty, it's over here. I forgot what the shade's called. I actually tried it in my Fenty Beauty review, but it kind of has like that same kind of tone. And then I got the shade Dreams. So this is just your typical kind of basic champagne color. And then last, but certainly not least, I've been wanting to try their magnetic palette. So these are like the Z palettes. These are $7.50. So this is one of the higher price things on their website. This is amazing. So I'm going to show you guys a difference. So here's a regular Z palette. I haven't bought Z palettes in forever. It's just, everyone has one now. It's ridiculous to spend that kind of money on Z palettes. But here's a Z palette, and then here is the, what is it, A2O Lab? Yeah, this is the A2O Lab Empty Magnetic Palette. This is the large size. And not to mention, you get a mirror in here. It's very rare to find a Z palette or like, you know, a Z palette type product with a mirror in it. This feels very sturdy. Like it feels just like the Z palettes. I feel no difference. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes and we're gonna get started with some eyeshadow. Hopefully you guys can't hear all my fans going. I have like 2 fans going in here because it's so hot. I don't even have my ring light on and that puts off the most heat. But these lights back here in the backdrop, ugh, they make this room like a hot box. Not like a hot box. Like a sauna. Yeah, I think a hot box is something else. That's not what it's like in here. So I'm gonna first go into M7, which is that matte dark taupe, and just put that in the crease and the outer V. Okay, so there's that shade, and that blended out so beautifully. They kind of remind me of the really good Coastal Scents Hot Pots, where they're a little bit drier, but they're very, very buildable, and they're very easy to work with. So yeah, this is very pretty, very easy to blend out. So now I'm gonna go into the L13, which is that shimmery taupe, and put that all over my lid. So there's what that shade looks like dry. It's kind of more of like a satiny taupe, but you guys know I'm extra, so I'm gonna wet the brush. Okay, so that is seriously so pretty. It's so finely milled and it's such a fine shimmer. Sometimes when you wet your brush and apply like a shimmery eyeshadow, it looks a bit too chunky and it can look too heavy and kind of cakey. Like if you can imagine a cakey eyeshadow, that's what sometimes wetting your brush can do to something. But this just looks very smooth. I'm very, very impressed with the quality of these. So I don't have eyeliner or mascara, so we're gonna have to do that off camera, but I do have a couple of eyebrow products. So I have the AOA Studio Wonder Brow Tinted Brow Pomade in the shade Taupe. And I have used this before, and I will say this is actually pretty sheer. So if you're someone that just wants to kind of dabble in brow pomades, but you don't want that super dramatic like Anastasia brow pomade look and you don't want to spend the price, this would be kind of like a good starting point. Now I don't have any brow gel on right now, which I usually do. I kind of use that as my prepping for brow products, but since we have that fiber mascara to use later, I'm not going to put any in. But I feel like where I don't have brow gel in, there's nothing for it to stick to. I feel like brow gel just kind of helps add a little grip to your brow products. So with that being said, it just looks very soft. It doesn't look like your typical brow pomade, but you can get a more dramatic look with this. You just have to really build it up. I probably had to dip my brush into the pot at least 7 or 8 times per brow because it's just like a little bit does not go very far with this. So now we're gonna go into the brow mascara and put that right on top. And it does pack a little bit of hold. Like it definitely does feel like I've got better hold in my brows. So I feel like I went a little too ham on this side, but that's okay because it'll look better once we have a full face on. But yeah, the fibers in it really do pack a punch. Like they really do fill in some of the more sparse areas. I would like to use something like this more on days when I don't feel like doing anything else. I wouldn't really use this in conjunction with other brow products that have color. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and finish up my eyes. I'm gonna do some eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be back to show you guys the rest of the face products. Alright, so I'm back. It's time to apply some BB cream now. So I went ahead and wet my sponges, and I just want to point out, getting the nude shade is a bad idea. I thought that, oh, it's nude, it'll match my foundation so you won't be able to tell if there's foundation in it, like if it's dirty or not. No, these are basically white and they show everything. So once again, here's the foundation sponge and everything will be linked below. So this is wet, I did just clean it, and it gets very, very big and it feels very bouncy. It's not super, super soft, like it's very dense. And then I also went ahead and dampened my baking sponge as well. So this is basically for like baking under your eyes, under your contour, whatever. It just has a really flat edge, so it's gonna be good for really packing it on. Now I will say, this tore just then when I was washing it, so I guess I just squeezed it a little bit too hard, so it's very delicate. It's like a delicate little flower. So for the BB cream, again, this is $1. So it says light to medium coverage, buildable, available in 6 skin adapting shades. Not a very good shade selection. Moisturizing, looks like your own skin. Brightening and color correcting, evens out skin tone. No SPF, so no white cast or flashback. I don't feel like you can really market something as a BB cream without having SPF in it. And I like how they kind of make it to be like a positive thing. Like there's no SPF, so no white cast. But girl, I want SPF. So I have already applied my moisturizer and I primed. So I have used this one other time, but when I used it, I just kind of put something else on top of it. So there's what it looks like. It does feel a little bit thicker, and this light shade will work pretty well for me, I feel like. Like it's a nice, like warm, olivey, golden undertone. So what I'm gonna do is on one side, I'm gonna apply it with my sponge, and then on the other side, I'm gonna apply it with my fingers and try to do it that way. Because I really don't ever do that, but I kind of just wanna show you guys how versatile it can be. Let's just go ahead. I do have some stuff to cover up on this side. So it's not blending out very well with my fingers. It's wanting to drag, and it's like it's picking up the primer underneath, and I have had my primer set for at least 10 or 15 minutes now, but it's kind of moving everything underneath and it's not wanting to melt into my skin with this method. Definitely not full coverage or anything. Most BB creams aren't, but I do like full coverage BB creams. I know that's kind of unrealistic, but I've tried full coverage BB cream, so I know that it can be done. So whenever someone says in a comment like, it's BB cream, it's not gonna be full coverage, it's like, no, it can be done. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and finish up on this side with a brush. I just wanna show you guys as many application methods as possible. So still getting very light coverage, but I feel like it is blending in better. So now I'm gonna go in with my sponge, and I do like to use a flat edge. But the thing is with this, it picks up a lot of product. Like I feel like it picks up more than what it actually blends, and it feels like a rock. Like it is so dense. Yeah, I definitely didn't get better coverage over here. It's actually worse. It sheared it out a lot. So I'm gonna use something that I know works. I'm gonna use my Real Technique sponge and go back in on this side and try to build this up a little bit. Definitely better coverage on this side already by using the Real Technique sponge. So I would say this sponge, definitely a no-go. Okay, so there's a couple of layers of the BB cream, if not more, and I did get a little bit better coverage, but I still didn't get full. Like, it's definitely not a super buildable coverage. It evened out my skin tone and stuff, and it did build up a lot better with the sponge. Like, the Real Technique sponge is the way to go. It beats out the brush, and it also beats out this rock-like substance that they call a beauty sponge. Yeah, it almost has like a sticky finish. Like, it doesn't really look glowy or dewy. Yeah, this BB cream is probably a no for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some setting powder all over my face, and we'll move on to the last couple of products. So I have a couple of different blush products. I almost forgot about these in the pans. So I'm gonna start off with the Lumi Radiant Blush in the shade Rose Dawn. I'm just gonna apply this and highlighter. I'm not gonna do bronzer or anything, because like I said, I'm just gonna take it off after this. So this is a very glowy blush. It kind of looks like you have highlighter on as well. So I'm kind of coming to appreciate products like this that kind of double as your highlighter and blush, because I'm kind of getting away from a super dramatic blingy highlight. But I really do like the formula of this. It blends out nicely. It looks really pretty on the cheeks. It looks very healthy, like it gives you a really pretty flush. I just don't like the shade. I just apply way too much blush. I need to know when to stop, but I definitely do want to try other shades in this line. So now I'm gonna go into the single pan blush in the shade Solar, and this looked like a really pretty like NARS Orgasm type blush on the swatches, but this is not. It looks very cheap. It's almost like a berry pink. It's pretty pigmented. This just, it's way too pigmented to be a blush in my opinion. I'm gonna try to use a really light hand with this. It's very dusty. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's very powdery and dusty. I don't like this one. I don't think it's worth it. Oh, gross. Why do I apply so much blush? What is wrong with me? I am 24 years old. I should not be at this point yet. Okay, I give up. I hate this one. It's patchy, it's uneven, it's hard to blend out, it's way too pigmented. It's just, no. So I do have several different highlighters, so I'm gonna try to figure out a way to use them all, because I have the single pans and also the halo highlighter. So I'm gonna start off with the halo highlighter. Oh, I need to use the sponge. Let's go ahead and use that real quick. So I have used this before, and every time I've used it, it picks up my product. Like, it picks up the foundation underneath. So I'm gonna go ahead and set under my eyes. It's a really good shape. I think it's good for under here, but it just wants to lift off your foundation and stuff underneath. I haven't tried this dry, I will say that. It might work better dry. So I'm just gonna, I was gonna say I'm gonna let that bake, but I gotta apply highlighter, so I'm gonna have to brush that right off. Alrighty, halo highlighter. So this is the pinky ivory tone. So let's put it on this side. This one gives you a really pretty glow. It's very dewy, but this one's just a little bit too icy for my skin tone. But this has a very fine shimmer. Like, it's not super enhancing of texture and pores and stuff like that. So I haven't really used the single pan highlighters a whole lot. I'm gonna go in with, let's go in with the one that I thought looks like the Fenty one. This is the shade Galaxy on the other side. These aren't super pigmented. Like, when you like putting your brush in, there's not a lot of dust or kick up or anything. When you swatch it, you do get like payoff, but I don't know. It's not a super creamy formula, but I feel like it's very workable. So let's try it on this side. And as you can see, not much is happening. I was really wanting these to be super good, like to be a dupe for all these expensive highlighters, but it's starting to finally build up. It's just not pigmented enough, and even then, it looks like a stripe, and it's enhancing my pores and texture out there. It just looks very like crepey in that area. Let's go in with the other shade, Dreams, and see if that one looks better. They both feel kind of the same, but I'm getting more pick up on my brush. Let's just go right there. I feel like it looks more glowy in the camera than it does in real life. This one is better though. Galaxy, not very good, but this one's not too bad. So still kind of enhancing of pores and stuff. It gets more like a wet look as you build it up, but for me, that's just not really into it. So next up is Diamond Lip Gloss in the shade Glitz. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on its own first. But the one is that outdated doe foot applicator, and I just don't feel like it picks up enough product. I feel like I have to dip in here 1,000 times to get color payoff. I feel like it just doesn't disperse enough, but it's an okay gloss. I'm gonna take this off real quick and put on another lipstick underneath and then show you what it looks like on top. It's definitely not the best. I feel like there are better out there, but I mean, for $1, you can't really complain too much. It does give a little bit of something. It kind of gives you like a shimmery, sparkly kind of look. Not really my thing, not really my gig, but it's okay. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got a little direction and got some ideas for your shopping list and also what to avoid. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure if you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, have a little button right down there in the corner, and also hit the notification bell to be notified of all my videos so that you never miss a beat. And when you do that, make sure you comment below #partypeople to let me know that you're part of my Party People squad, because this squad is a squad that you want to be on. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.